How are we better punch? The new popular. Eat real. Oh, gauntlet. Gauntlets. Yeah. Hey, yo. A live streaming?
Holy shit.
Doctor Strange.
What else are they doing? The debuff to Iron Man? Are you surprised?
Uh, it's like an inauguration at this point.
They're learning. Alrighty.
Yeah. Again!
Hello, everybody. Sorry about that. I am lagging behind ever so slightly. I have no excuse for this one other than there was some shit I wanted to do before stream and I hadn't gotten it done until recently, so like I was definitely home on time and everything. Okay, I just got the tweet out though. Do me the favor, go give that some love. While I get the last little bits here plugged in, and then basically I just gotta grab you guys today's sauce and we should be good to go. Hello, Shadow. The bot is already up and running, so hello to everybody on both sides. That wasn't the right button, because that was the wrong keyboard. I was just telling the boys, apparently they're making some balance adjustments and rivals, which is funny because it looks like Cloak and Dagger is getting buffed, which is hilarious because I think if you ask most support mains, they would tell you that they were still perfectly fine and that they didn't need a buff. But interestingly enough, they did hit probably the weakest part of their kit, which was just their main healing. I'm definitely down for it. It's just going to help out even more. Okay. Are we feeling better? Yeah, I was just exhausted yesterday was really all it was. It was just a long day at work and the time change kind of messed with me. So it's like today I've adjusted a little bit better. We watched Star Wars Skeleton Crew, and it was actually pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was basically the Goonies in a Star Wars setting, where these kids kind of stumble upon a ship and end up basically lost in the galaxy, and it was I thought it was really good. There's a little bit of mystery and intrigue, a little bit of treasure hunting, and a little bit of action. And it was actually surprisingly good. I think the problem with it was it came out after The Acolyte, and so nobody fucking watched it. Flora's been talking about abolishing it for a while in terms of daylight savings. All right, chat, let us begin. I forgot to press that button. Hello, everybody. Here is today's artwork. Do me the favor, go give the artist some love. Got it for you guys on both sides. Okay, should be good to go. Free emojis, yes, you get free emojis when you follow. So thank you to everybody who has followed in the past couple days. Who the hell do you think I am? Yeah. Daylight savings time is annoying. It is. I certainly like it in the fall where I gain an hour, but in the spring, not fun because it's basically in the middle of my tax season. So chat, I was trying around some various comps trying to see if I could get something else to work. Couldn't really get anything else to work, so we're just going to kind of go with this. I pretty much know what it is that I want to run. I know it will work because, well, it's kind of what I ran on JP, but at least here, I was going to try to see if I could pull off some of the other stuff, but I really couldn't, so it is what it is. I don't know that any of this matters. I think we can do something like that. And then we can do something like... Honestly, I could probably just take a support C in this slot. Because it just rains. I've got no Mystic Code to work on, so it's probably just Bond. Where's my Detective Foams? There it is. Can't fit anything really with MASH. We've only got 2 party slots available. Actually, let me see who else I can bond on the back line here. Preferably a male because of it being Chaldea boys. I guess we could bond Tez. Tez is apparently actually a really good solution to the current node on JP. Hold on, let me think about this because I haven't unlocked her append yet. So she's gonna get 20 per turn. So she'll have up to 40 naturally. She'll get 30 overflow here. That's a little spicy. Wait, if I could form arch chains, maybe. I guess I could probably like try to split some because I think I'll probably full refund with my Squirtoria. I probably want to at least go lock that in. It's a ruler too, so it really shouldn't be too much. Just go ahead and do it. Wait, why didn't that one work? So interestingly enough, it was more my Jarcher didn't have the damage on wave 3. It actually did go through the prior like 2 waves. Balmonte, thank you for the 18. Appreciate it. Thank you for the 1.5 year support. Jack, we get some love, some cheers, some hugs. Arc Squirtle, double Castoria. Yeah, you could do stuff like that. Hello, Mega. How's my net going? It's going all right. I'm basically lagging behind. So interestingly enough, too, and I didn't talk about this. I guess in theory, this is one of the reasons that I was a little bit late. But like, I came home and I was calling the dogs in from having let them out and was trying to like bring them back in to feed them and crate them again. And I see Sasha out there and she looks at me and she's got something that looks like a hose in her mouth. And she looks at me and she just runs off, flops it on the ground and starts rolling in it. See, Chad, it wasn't a hose. It was a dead snake. Yeah. So, and the worst part is I think it had been dead. I think it's been out in my yard for like 2 days because I heard like Sunday they were really barking at something, and I listened, and like normally I can tell because when it's a snake it's a distressed bark, but they didn't seem too distressed. So like I listened for a little bit. It was mostly Nico barking, and he just seemed to be barking like at Sasha. It wasn't a distressed bark. And then like I heard it kind of go for a little bit, and then I heard it stop. So I never went to check. And yeah, I think I've had a dead snake in my yard for the past 2 days. Dead snakes are good snakes. I kind of know how they like find them because my neighbor has a palmetto bush like right next to my backyard fence, and the dogs kind of like to dig right there because I think they try to like dig a little bit under the fence and try to like get towards the palmetto. And I've seen before, at least twice before, two different snakes there. So both times I've had to kill the snake and get rid of it. So I suspect that that's just kind of where the snakes like to live in my neighbor's backyard, which is really weird because my neighbor has a big, like, aggressive, like, chocolate lab pit bull mix. So, like, I'm surprised that thing doesn't just kill the crap out of the snakes either. But I guess it's like they're deep enough underground there a little bit where they're kind of entrenched and it can't get to it. But so my dogs can kind of dig under there and get it out. And so I think that's where they got it from again. But that was, I basically had to just take the snake and just like get it out of the yard. So that took a minute. But then, and this one's a little bit more like personal, I guess you could say. My dad was telling me my like 100-year-old grandmother is probably got like a month left to live. It's been kind of a thing for a while now. Basically, she's had dementia and has been getting worse, and it's just been something that I've kind of known. I've kind of distanced myself from her, not because I don't like care about her, but because essentially like it's kind of difficult to be around her at times. Not for me, but in the sense of like when I go to see her, a lot of the time she sees me and she either thinks that I'm like one of my siblings or cousins, or she's like not even recognizing me. And it's like, I get it. I completely understand how that sort of thing happens. I am far enough removed that I'm not her son. I'm not her daughter. I'm not like her husband. I'm not like one of her immediate family that like through all the dementia she might still remember. Because like she still remembers my dad. But it's one of those deals where it's like, at this point, I've been fine kind of being kept apart from her, mostly because from everything that I've heard and seen, my grandmother gets deeply upset if she finds out that she like was calling someone the wrong thing. So it's like we try not to put her in like those awkward social situations. Other than like, again, like we have her over for the holidays and stuff like that, because, you know, it's that time of year. You don't want to leave her out. It's what she's used to and that sort of thing. But it's been difficult because it's like, yeah, you don't want to like upset her because that can kind of make things worse a little bit. So to a degree, it's like, yeah, I still see her fairly regularly. I probably see her the most regularly out of all my siblings. Like my sister and my brother basically haven't seen my grandmother since the holidays, whereas I've seen her several times since. But yeah, it's been getting bad. She's barely able to move. And apparently, like my dad was saying, that he doesn't think that she has very long left, because he goes over there and like even for him, and so this is kind of funny, but I think my dad was always the favorite child. Because my dad was successful. He worked through all of like the sort of like bad things that had happened in their life as a family, and came out the other side of it like owning his own business and stuff like that. So I think like my grandmother always looked at my father and just was like super proud of him. So like you can tell, right? As opposed to she actually lives with her other daughter, my aunt, and I'm not going to say that she hates my aunt. I don't think she does. I think she appreciates her and everything. But I think it was one of those deals where it was like, I'm stuck with you type deal. So I think there was a little bit of animosity there at times. But yeah, I think my grandmother, basically, like, even on seeing my dad, he was saying that she just didn't really talk very much. That she was... like he said, he's like, we were over there for like, you know, a couple hours, and all she really said was like 6 words the entire time. So it's one of those deals where it's like she's not really getting up and moving anymore. She's not really saying very much. So they think she's just about gone. And it's a shame. She's a long-lived woman. She has quite a bit of accomplishments to her, and God Almighty, a little bit like I'm proud of her for continuing throughout everything that my grandmother has been through. So in that regard, like I'm gonna miss her. She's actually my last grandparent still alive, and you know, it's funny because growing up, I basically I guess I was kept apart from her husband, so my grandfather on that side. I never really got to meet him as a kid very much. I think he was around, if I remember correctly, like one of my earliest memories that I can still remember was like crawling around on the floor at my parents' house, which was a different house back then. And I remember like the family being around, and this was when I was like 3. And essentially I remember my grandfather being there, but that is like one of the only times I can remember it, because apparently they just did not get along and they were kept apart quite a bit. And it was also understood that my grandfather was pretty toxic in terms of like, how do I put it? Like, if you guys have ever seen me when I'm angry, probably like that to an extreme, like just really, really bad, right? And so I was kept apart from that as a kid. I never really got to see that. So I had my grandparents on my mother's side, both of whom were fantastic, phenomenal grandparents, the epitome of like what a grandparent should be. In fact, my grandfather on my mother's side, if you ever hear me talk about him, I will always talk about him with the deepest respect and utmost appreciation, because he was almost like a second father to me. He was absolutely somebody that I idolized growing up, and also to the same degree that my father was. Like I love my father like extremely, so I don't want to like overplay how I'm making my grandfather sound, but it was like the polar opposite to my other grandfather. And essentially, like I still spent a lot of time with my grandmother on my father's side because she was who was around, and I still remember like all the stuff that she did for us. And like, we used to go over to her house like every Sunday after church. She would basically make us like a meal, and we'd just sit down and talk, and we'd have like a great time. And it was only been really since she had gotten older here that kind of stopped. So I will always have fond memories of her, and I will always be like super happy for her. But yeah, it's one of those deals. She's 100 years old. She's still trucking, but I agree with my dad. I'm surprised that she has lasted as long as she has. So it's terrible. It's unfortunate. I'm not going to dwell too much on it, but that is something that's going on through the back of my mind. So if any of you guys are religious in any way, shape, or form, just do me a favor, say some prayers for her. She is somebody that means a lot to me, and I will definitely be sad to see her go. There will probably be some sort of interruption to stream one day if she does pass, because I'll probably have to go to a funeral and everything for that. But I'd rather not dwell too much on that. So, have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Yes. Alba, thank you for the 57, and McTankles, thank you for the 56. But yeah, it's gonna be a weird thing for me. Honestly, I'm amazed at how like my father is taking it, but I think my father has kind of resigned himself to it. I think he's known it's been coming for a long time, and I think he, out of all of us, like as much as I've seen my grandmother degrade over the years, I'm sure it is even more apparent to him. It's even more impactful to him. So I cannot imagine that. I wonder how I'm going to handle something like that as my parents age. So it is definitely something that like I don't know how to handle very well. So hope everything turns around. Thank you. I appreciate it. My grandmother said if she dies after 100, celebrate it. Yeah, it's one of those deals where it's like we're sad to see her go, but like she had a good run, right? Like we can't be upset about that sort of thing. It's like in the sense of obviously everyone's got to go at some point, at some time. And so it's like, it's tough, but it's something that we've been expecting now for a while. So my grandmother died. I changed a lot. My grandfather dying was actually probably one of the biggest, moments for me in that regard. He basically died back when I was in high school, and it messed with me to a large degree. And it's still something that like I struggle with if I manage to think too much on it. Cat's grandmother outlived the Queen of England. Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I think my grandfather on my mother's side, if I remember correctly, and I don't remember when my grandmother on my father's side is born, but my grandfather on my mother's side was born the year that the Titanic sunk. So like everyone in my family, like they pretty much have lived a long life. I think I only had one grandparent that died before they were 90, and that grandparent was my grandmother on my mother's side, and she was a beautiful woman as well, but she ended up passing because she she fell and she broke her hip in the bathroom, and she had to go into the hospital to get surgery. She did. She was fine. And then she kind of like got an infection and died. We were not pleased about that one. That was one of those that almost turned into a lawsuit. So it was one of those deals where it's like, yeah, we feel like that should not have occurred, but it is what it is. Died at 93. He basically said to me and my dad, don't be sad, be happy. I lived such a long life. Yeah, I think like that's all you really can do, right? Like it's also, I think, like to a degree why I feel so strongly the way I do about like older generations and respecting them and stuff like that is because like I actually had people in my life that did treat me well and were a positive influence on the world around them. I'm not going to say every old person is, but like it deeply wounds me to see people just like completely brush people off because they're older. And it's one of those things where it's like I think you can learn so much from people like that, and I think to a degree it's like I wish I had more time with them. I wish there were things that like I could have talked to them about and asked them about. That's something where if you guys still have grandparents that are coherent and not super old, take that time, sit down with them one day and actually like just try to talk life about, with them, ask them some questions, pick their brain, see what they have to say, and you might be surprised at some of the wisdom that you'll get from them. Did your grandparents fight in World War II? Yes, my grandfather did. My grandfather on my father's side was technically Army Corps of Engineers, but like I said, he was kind of an asshole, so it is what it is. But my it's actually really interesting. My grandfather on my mother's side, he was Air Force. He flew Spitfires for the RAF. He was one of the first people, American-wise, fighting in the war during World War II because he was over there with the Royal Air Force flying for them. He got shipped down to Africa, and he was actually part of the Italian invasion. It was really, really interesting. He has some amazing stories, and it's funny because partway through the Italian invasion, they sent him home. They sent him home because he had flown basically, I think the limit was 50 missions, and they would send you home, and he had flown 100. So it's like they kind of just kept him on, and then they were like, hold on, you need to go back. Which thank God he did, right? Bro prestige, pretty much. Grandpa, who was in the U.S. Navy, he got sunk. Oh, God. Oh, geez. My condolences. T-Day is an explosives expert? Holy crap. Yeah, it's like I said, I think they're called the greatest generation for a reason. It's definitely a thing, and you know, to a degree, I think a lot of people like nowadays I see people get upset at like the boomers and stuff, and I'm like, the boomers are the greatest generation's children. The people that fought in World War II, they're kids, and the reason they're known as boomers, they're baby boomers, aka everybody came home from the war, everyone started having kids. There was a huge spurt in growth compared to prior generations, and America was kind of booming back then as well, so there was a lot of capacity to have children. But yeah, it's like I think a lot of people want to like look down on people that are older now, and it's like, look, chat, if you don't want people to treat you the same way when you're older, it's a good idea to at least like have some decorum about it and not necessarily be like sitting there and being like, oh yeah, everyone older than me is crap. Eventually you'll be old too. Condom sales were down pretty much. It was like, I'm pretty sure that's where like Shinzo Abe and his entire like mentality comes from. Shinzo Abe was like, yo, go have sex, make kids, please, Japan needs it. It's that exact same mentality of like live long and prosper, basically. Apparently song request stopped. Actually, let me reboot the song bot because I don't know if it's taken everybody's requests. Okay, there we go. How can you do a 3-turn on the 90 plus plus node? I'm about to show you. Look, chat, here's the thing, okay? I have a really strong cast or Squirtoria. I don't think you have to have a super strong one though. I think you can do this with like an NP2, as long as you have like an MLB Black Grail or something like that. But basically, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to attempt to loop. This is going to be spicy on its own. If only Squirtle had the one upgrade. Now, why did she end up at 87% charge? Did I not cap Johanna's charge skill? Maybe I did. I don't know. Run Shiki and Samurai Buki. Yeah, Shiki and King Asan will both work on the front enemy for death procking. You could try to use other units, but you probably need a Mystic Code to help it out, which then rules out Plug Suit, so it kind of makes things a little bit spicier for the rest of the time. But yeah, I'm going to say at the end of the day, you should be more than capable. Mine will full loop here. I think... otherwise, you guys might want to run with like double Castoria instead of a Reigns. I'm using Reigns because I can get away with it, and essentially it's just going to be fine for me in terms of bonding. So you guys can see she gets back 80%, and then my Johanna ends up powering it on. And I tried to talk to people about this. I think a lot of people were kind of writing Johanna off, but Johanna's really good in multiple damage dealer setups. You guys can kind of see why. It just works really, really fluidly to have somebody do this. Mine's NP5 Hephaestion in 2x Castoria Oberon. Yeah, I was actually telling Prophet basically to run with Oberon, because Oberon should be able to put in some work. He's a pretender, so on the final wave, he could still be at least semi-effective against Jason. And he's AoE, so he will be able to slaughter the Berserkers. You just can't put his NP first is the problem, because he, invulns. So just be careful with that. Or require servants at power levels I just don't have. Yeah, so here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna say this. Obviously, if let's say you're trying to do the 90 plus plus node, and you determine that you cannot 3-turn it, you have two choices. Choice number 1, go step down to 90 plus instead, right? So you're not gonna do the plus plus at that point. Or choice number 2, don't 3-turn. I recommend choice number 2 because it's not a lotto. Who cares if you 4 or you 5-turn it? Heck, chat, I woke up this morning and just to spend down my AP, I didn't know what I was doing, so I cobbled together a quick comp, and that quick comp involved Nito Avenger trying to death proc. That did not go well, and that ended up in a 13-turn. So, like, obviously you don't want to do shit like that, but it is a thing. So my advice to you guys is, like, you don't have to be overly concerned about 3-turning if it's not a lotto. Lottos are the only ones where you have time as the essence, where like maybe you're limited by your sanity and your desire to keep going. So that's where I say, like, yeah, trying to 3-turn in a lotto is super important. Trying to 3-turn in something like this, not important at all. You guys can take your sweet time. It really does not matter. And I think what I am going to do is I am going to just start turning on all CEs, and I'm going to start turning on MLBs. And if I can keep finding them, I'm actually going to start probably predominantly taking 3 stars if possible. What is this? I don't remember what the CE is. That is one of the 3 stars. Sweet. And did I actually mark that? Yes, it is Vent Seas. My sanity's already gone. Yeah, it's fine. Oberon to take out the 2 Nobus at the end and have Hephaestion take Jason on her own. Yeah, exactly. That's like essentially this node is designed because like you have one of 2 problems. Your problem is either right here with the 600k Berserker, or your problem is on turn 3 with the fact that it's an AoE node with a 400k Saber. So that's a little bit spicy for most like AoE archers to be able to handle on their own. Gil probably works pretty well there. So it's like, I'm not going to say you couldn't do like a Buster comp with like King Hassan death procking the first wave or something like that. That is definitely possible. But in general, I'm going to say that you're probably going to want some kind of capability to swap the party. There we go. I think I saw a Morgan 3-turn comp, which works. Yeah, you probably could. I think that your big problem would be wave 1. Wave 1 is like, because a 600k Berserker is just hefty, and it doesn't have a whole lot of traits to exploit. If I remember correctly, it's like Giant and Super Giant, and that's like kind of it. Doman for the win. You can use Doman, but Doman does have a chance of failure unless like you're doing something else to amplify death chance. $10 already. Thank you, Aniko. Appreciate it. Actually, the problem is wave 2, which is more of a problem. Wave 2 shouldn't be a problem at all. Because if you have somebody that can kill this, they should also be able to kill wave 2. Should. Right? But a lot of this really just depends on what your setup is. Like, if you're trying to run a powerful AoE, wave 2 maybe could cause you an issue, especially if you don't have the Oberon boost for that wave. If you're trying to run, like, say, a single target, wave 3 is more of your issue. I didn't. I don't think I pressed the Johanna NP. Did I not press the Johanna NP chat? I didn't. Oh well. This was 4-turn. Zelfer, thank you for the sub. Appreciate the big 5-0. Jack, can we get some love for Zelfer? And for Aniko as well. Carding wave 2 with Takasugi and 2 Scotties. And it's a trip. Yeah, especially if you don't get those cards, right? Enemy has party buff strip. Yeah, that too. I never like leaving the Lost Belt, I guess it's Lost Belt 4, right? Lost Belt 4 like flying dragons to chance, because it's just always nasty if they end up alive. It feels like they have a like 99% chance to pop that buff strip skill the second they get the opportunity. Yeah, you can do that. We're just going to run the 90 plus instead of going for plus plus. My advice, like I said, go for plus plus. Just don't do it in 3 turns. There's no like huge imperative like time cost issue. And now, chat, y'all should have the story done on both servers. So like, it's not like for instance, for me, the biggest problem is waking up in the morning and then needing to like basically get story done on top of everything else. So yeah, high school MC for the Doman comp. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like if you want Doman or like Nito Chris or someone like that to work, you just have to end up working at a Mystic Code. Or I guess in theory you could take like another death proc person and put like a death resist skill like debuff on the enemy. I think instant death has no chance to fail here. No, it depends entirely on who you use. So it's like if you're not taking the right setup, it can just utterly fail, which is exactly what happened to me this morning and why it turned into a 13 turn. Plug one stun if it gets if it gets a bad hand. I mean, at that point, I would tell you it's probably better to go ahead and pop your like Mystic Code attack buff on turn 2 if you're ending up in that scenario. Like, try to make sure you kill it. That way, you just have the best chance of survival. This is a pretty easy one. It's just kind of down the line buff application, and definitely one of the things I like about arts is not having to like sit there and constantly reactivate skills. It's always the servants that I don't have 10 yet that are recommended. Yep. And you'll learn too, eventually the more you get more of your servants online, then the more like it comes back around and it becomes cyclical. And then you go like, oh sweet, I don't have to like work on anyone this time because they're already worked on. But yeah, early on that's definitely an issue. A salad and 2 garlic naans, and the first thing I see is a whole bakery. That's right. Yes, go give the artist some love, Dirty. Huzzah! But yeah, I like Gigapope. Gigapope's one of those like sneaky good units, and I still use her to this day on JP. I don't use her like super frequently or anything like that, but I do use her. She is definitely solid. How's my day been? It's been a day. I'll be fine though. Been trying to get my Tomacat working. Oh, I'll show you guys what I'm doing for JP. Yeah, JP's 90++ came out yesterday, and I don't know if what I'm doing is optimal in the slightest, but I came up with a composition that works. So it's just like, fuck it, we ball. JP's is way easier. The problem with it is the alter ego that's in it. But that's really like the only major issue. So it's like if you don't have good pretenders, it could be an issue. Or you don't have somebody like, say, Kama that can just like obliterate an alter ego. It could also cause problems. I just do alter ego and alter ego violence. Well, see, one of the beauties of the Chaldea Boys nodes is if you don't roll, you don't have CEs. And if you don't have CEs, that means your CEs are free to use on whatever the heck you want. So, chat, behold my composition. It's a Habitrot Death Rotate, bringing in one of the supports. And then basically single support Cuckoo taking out wave 2, and then Cuckoo plus Phantasm Moon with Oberon taking out wave 3. It works. I don't know why, but it works. This NA 90++ ain't gonna work for me, Sag. Koyami. Yep. You know that unit that everyone says is like fucking terrible and needs a buff? Yeah, no, that unit. That unit definitely works and helps out here. Using a Merlin and an Oberon as support? Yeah, you probably could. The reason I'm using Koyami is to give my Cuckoo enough amp. Koyami still deserves a buff. I'm gonna be honest. I'm getting like kind of weird about it where I wouldn't argue that. But because everybody seems to take this opinion that it is, I feel even harder to stump for Koyami doesn't need a buff. She's fine as is. Because it's the truth. She actually is. I think the only argument for Koyami needing a buff usually comes from the crowd that wants Koyami to deal more damage. And it's like, I get it. But that's if you ask me, that's really not where she could use the buff. She could use the buff pretty much from the place that she could have all the way from the beginning, which was that her supportive capabilities are niche. So she needs to broaden one of those or gain another supportive capacity. But I really just don't fucking care. And I don't think that she actually does need the buff. Because again, I use her quite effectively all the fucking time. And I really do mean that. Koyami is getting major use on my JP, especially now that my Koyan is Bond 15. And I have managed to fit her into so many comps, which tells me that she works in so many comps, which tells me that people aren't thinking outside the box with her. They're not really trying to use her effectively, and they're just kind of screaming and relying on the things that other people are saying. Using her with Art's quick animal servants is pain? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. I just wouldn't use her with an Arts or Quick's animal servant, right? I don't think that, like, she's a good fit for anyone that's not Buster, really. I think I'll try to figure out a way to make Space Irish work on this. You probably could. Like, there's nothing to stop you, but, again, behold, chat. Now, the sneaky trick here is I used a Star Bomb CE because why the fuck not? Because it didn't really matter. But it lets me kill consistently, so. Cad, you got the triple fluffy tail comp? Oh, I'm aware. It's just like I said. So, like, the more people complain that a good unit needs a buff, the more I will push back on it. Because somebody has to. Somebody has to be the voice of reason and point out that, like, hey, this unit isn't bad. Because it does feel like we get points in time in this community where everybody will start to be like, nah, that unit's trash. And the reason why is because people have been complaining about that unit. And so you almost get, like, this, like, game of telephone where it's like, person A says unit needs something. Person B agrees. Person C agrees. Person D, like, already you're getting so far removed from this that they agree. And then by the time you're on, like, person, like, X, person X basically doesn't even know why the unit needs a buff and just thinks that they're hot garbage and never pays any fucking attention because basically this, like, chain just keeps going. And so, like, people don't understand, and then it just causes a whole bunch of misconceptions. This has always been one of the major issues in the community. And I know, like, to a degree it won't stop, but it's exactly why I will talk about it and be very outspoken on subjects like that. Koyami fans up there in the annoying fans list? Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. I think Koyami fans are one of the most annoying fans in the entire fandom right now. I'm not saying that to, like, shit on Koyami fans or anything like that. Like, you don't have to feel bad if you like her. But there are so many people bitching and moaning about it. I'm just like, fine, they're the worst. It is what it is. Like, I want people to understand that the more they bitch and moan about these things and the less it actually needs to be a thing, you are one of the worst fandoms in the community at that point. It just is what it is. Like, I don't know how to say it otherwise. And to a degree, like, we've had that numerous times over the years. It's not like that's a unique occurrence, and it fluctuates, right? Now, Artillery, on the other hand, definitely needs a buff. Listen, I've said that for years, but I also don't try to bring it up all the time because I don't want to be one of those fuckers that's really annoying and constantly bringing this stuff up. It's just, I don't know. I feel like to a degree, there's a lot of characters in the game that need buffs, and the degree to which they need a buff is certainly debatable because it depends entirely on like we'll just call me, you, anybody else in the community the player, right? It depends entirely on what the player feels balance should look like in this game. Because there's a couple schools of thought. Like, player A thinks that balance in this game basically should constantly be like the most min-maxed thing of like, if you're not first, you're last. Player B thinks there doesn't even need to be balance because this is a single player game. And then player C is probably somewhere like in the middle of those two. They're somewhere like probably, I'm going to say player C is probably the most reasonable one of the bunch. Because player C is like, hey, there needs to be some kind of buff going on. We need to tend to some of our units, but it doesn't need to be like some crazy thing, right? So I think it is one of those deals. Ishtar fans have been dethroned. Ishtar fans haven't been a thing in like 3 or 4 years. And I'm not saying like there aren't any Ishtar fans. I'm saying like Ishtar fans haven't been annoying in 3 to 4 years. The last time Ishtar fans were annoying, all right, chat, I'll point it out to you guys right now. The last time Ishtar fans were annoying, it was JP. It was JP, and it was Summer 6. And y'all know why. Y'all know why. Yeah, it was Summer Kama. When Summer Kama came out, Ishtar fans started getting really ornery about that one. And it was just kind of funny. And I like, thankfully that one calmed down quite a bit. But I was like, what the heck? Like, because I still remember people just kind of going like toe to toe. Because it was essentially, it was the Sakura fans and the Rin fans getting angry at each other. Like that was the macro level of that, right? I'm all for Tamamo supremacy, but some people have gone too far the last couple of months. No, I mean, like, so I'll say this, like, Tamamo fans, I feel like, have, like, a perpetual level of annoyance. Not in the sense of, like, they're the worst in the community, but in the sense that, like, you could give Tamamo something, and the next day, somebody would be sitting there being like, hey, Tamamo needs something else. Like, Tamamo is, like, why hasn't Tamamo gotten this? Why hasn't Tamamo gotten that? So I've just noticed that Tamamo fans, they just go like, hey, here is the goalpost. And then it's like, okay, we kicked a field goal through the goalpost. Well, now the goalpost is over here instead. They're perpetually moving goalposts. That's what I've noticed. To a degree. I'm not gonna lie, Arturia fans are the same. I know that's the way it is. So it's like, I'll just go ahead and call myself out for that one, right? Because there's always like me sitting here being fully self-aware, being like, yes, I want another saber face. That's it. But I feel like at least the way that I sit there and I say these things and the way that I try to qualify those sorts of statements is I go like, yes, of course I want another saber face. Why? Because I love saber faces. It's literally the reason I keep playing this game. So if they actually were going to get to a point where they said no more saber faces will be released, I would probably have a very strong reason to not play the game at that point. I would just be like, well, I've collected them all. I've done my civic duty. Like, so I kind of get it, right? Cad, we're missing a lot of the tails. Tamamo definitely needs them all. Yeah, like, honestly, and I'm being dead serious here, I don't feel like it's bad for Tamamo fans to want, like, you know, the other tails, right? That's A-okay. But I have seen Tamamo fans be kind of unreasonable about certain things. I'll give you guys an example of this. Tamamo Arya from, whatchamacallit, Samurai Remnant, right? Like, a lot of people are like, oh, she's going to be the New Year's servant. She's going to be the collab servant. She's going to be the Annie servant. It's like every fucking major event they call that it's going to be Tamamo area. And it is I agree with Peanut there. It's one of the biggest levels of copium I have ever seen. It's like, I'm not going to say it can't happen. I'm not going to say it won't happen. I'm just going to say expecting it and demanding it is the problem. What do you mean she's 10th? You sure? Yeah. Me vibing with Raiko? Yeah, no, I mean, listen, Dirty, I'm dead serious. Raiko fans are based. I've noticed this. Raiko fans have taken a lot of shit over the years. And Raiko fans just sit there and they're just like, don't care, love my wife. Like, I have noticed that. They're some of the chillest motherfuckers in the community. Because they have been on the shit side of that equation for so many fucking years. And it's why, chat, if you guys remember, going back to the prior year, okay, this is coming up this year now for NA. Mama Raiko gets a buff. That buff is 30% more charge. When Mama Raiko got that buff, there were a lot of butthurt Arjuna Alter fans. A shit ton. And I defended that. I literally said, no, you have no right to get angry at Mama Raiko getting a buff. You literally don't get to. You have been on the top of the heap as an Arjuna Alter fan for a long fucking time. Mama Raiko, meanwhile, was left picking up the scraps with no freaking charge in quote-unquote current year. So it's like, yeah, no, she deserves her time in the sun. Mama Raiko hadn't seen the light of day since pretty much like Rashomon. That's how long ago it had been since Mama Raiko had kind of been like in the meta. Okay? I'm not going to say that she hadn't been usable in other things since then. She had been, including a couple of Lottos. But no, she had definitely not been the most meta thing or anything like that. So seeing her finally get the capacity to work in the Koyanskaya system, I was so happy for that buff in the sense of like, I was happy not only to see the unit get improved, but I was also happy for the fans that had kind of just been there all along and stuck by their waifu and listened to people not only trash the waifu, trash her design, and trash the artist's overall capability and style. So, like, yeah, I know. I think Mama Raiko fans were practically persecuted for years, and it's stupid. We haven't gotten any Tamamo servants on JP for 3 years. It's overdue at this point. It's overdue at this point. I'm gonna be real with you. Okay? Don't bite on it. I know it's fucking bait. I know I'm getting one guide. Okay? But Strom, no, you're fucking wrong. Here's why. So much of the Lost Belt story deals with Koyanskaya that you don't get to say you're overdue. You don't get to. I know you want it. You don't get to. You have no leg to stand on. And then every time this comes up, somebody in chat tries to argue and goes, but Koyanskaya is not a Tamamo. And I'm like, yes, she is. It's like, I'm sure there's like somehow not a correlation between Koyanskaya fans and Tamamo fans. Surely they don't completely fucking overlap. Like, it's a thing, right? And look, don't get me wrong. Do you want something for her? Yes. Is it okay to want something for her? Yes. But you don't get to demand it. Not after all of Lost Belt has dealt with Koyanskaya. No, you don't get to demand it. That being said, I'll also say this. I think I have seen the Tamamo fever pitch increase over the years for a couple of reasons. One is again, like Queen Sky not getting all of her outfits. I think that's a stupid decision by LaSingle, and I blame LaSingle entirely for that. And if Tamamo / Queen Sky fans want to demand those outfits, I think that they are well within their right to demand. But the second thing is Umu actually getting a beast form and it kind of coming into the game with the arcade collab coming up. Okay. And then the third thing was Arya. So it's like these three things are making like Tamamo fans like go off the hook. But like, I mean, crap, some of that's just jealousy at that point. A soccer face lover. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Omar. I'm really surprised at like the amount of like soccer face attention they've given of late. Like, not saying that they couldn't, right? I think they easily could, but I'm surprised both by that and by the like comparative like just dearth and like ignoring of Rin, right? And I say this as an Arturia fan who has no leg in the fight between Sakura and Rin. I am an outside observer on that one. Okay. That being said, though, I don't hate either of the girls, so that's perfectly fine. But yeah, just from an outsider's perspective looking in, it's almost like asinine to look at that and be like, why did you give Sakura so much and Rin like practically nothing over this time period? Because to me, it just seems like they were shooting themselves in the foot when they did that. Like business wise, that seems like a dumb decision to me. Oh yeah, no, and I agree with that, Cino. I think honestly, I think Tamamo is very likely to get a beast form, like straight up. Like that might be what an eventual like Amaterasu or something is. It might just end up being a beast. So it's why I'm gonna like Tamamo fans. I'm gonna caution patience for you. It will pay off. Trust me. I can almost guarantee it. Because at minimum, I'm going to say you have stuff on the horizon to look forward to. You just have to be patient. Did I just do a fucky wucky there? No, I should be fine. I was like, man, should I not have pressed that skill? But to get Amaterasu, we need all the 9 tails first. Yeah, and like, so here's the thing, chat. I'm going to be real with you for a moment. Could they give you all 9 tails? Yes. Do I think they will? No. I do not believe you will receive all 9 tails as playable characters. And at least to an extent, Nasu has seemingly like indicated that. He at least has gone on the record once of saying like, yeah, not all 9 tails are going to be in FGO. I don't know that you can trust him. Y'all know how Nasu is. But there may be like some truth to the words, but it may be a half truth, right? Like, so maybe it's like, oh, they'll all be here, but they're just not all going to be playable, right? Yeah, I agree exactly with what Avalon's saying. Like, you'll probably end up getting some sort of story where it's like there's a crisis, and then like the 9 tails end up megazording and forming Amaterasu, and like you end up having to fight Amaterasu off. Like, I could easily see that being a thing. Do you think we could get Dodgy? That's an interesting one. Because at least with Dodgy, there's a lot of like hints that Dodgy is herself somehow separate, but then Tamamo herself, I believe, has lines indicating that she is Dodgy. So like, I think there's a lot of like mixed stuff on that one, and it really just depends with how they want to interpret it. So it really depends like what set of lore you're looking at and what you actually believe as a player as to whether or not you're going to get it. I think you could. I don't think it's guaranteed, but it'll be interesting to see what they do eventually. But when that is, how that is, I have no idea.
is one of the atrocities she did. Yeah, it's like I said, like it's kind of weird in that sense. Let's do that. Because Tammy says she's not, but is she? I don't know at this point. Like I said, like it's the same thing as like Korean Sky is not, but she is, but she's not, but she is, but she's not. So it's like I wouldn't read too much into that sort of thing. And I'm just gonna tell you, chat, if it looks like a Tamamo, has a tail like a Tamamo, it's probably a Tamamo, regardless of what the lore claims. Whether or not it counts as one of the tails, I don't know if it will be a thing or if it even matters. I feel like Tamamo and Rin fans have been much more aggravated with how much Sakura stuff they released over the last year. Well, I mean, and I'm going to say this, like, don't get me wrong, but I think every time a Saberface comes out, people maul, right? Like, and I've always tried to take this as a don't try to be like zero sum about this sort of thing. Just because like one group gets something doesn't mean that another group won't get something, right? So it's like me pointing out, it's like, yeah, I'm surprised that the devs went as hard into soccer as they did. Maybe it just was kind of what they felt like fit at that point in time. So maybe you'll see over the next like bit here more renewed stuff centering around like Rin, for instance. So it is what it is. I think the writers have their interests, they have their goals and aspirations. They're gonna do what they're gonna do, and you just gotta trust. It rotates, yeah, I think it does to a degree. Was no costumes for doing the singularities because I did them after 5.5 and I was like, where's the costumes? I mean, to be fair, you don't really get costumes for doing anything else in the game either. So it's like it's not abnormal for them. I think a lot of people assume that costumes are easy, and I'm going devil's advocate right here, chat. So this is not me like telling you you're wrong to want costumes. However, I am going to tell you that I think a lot of people assume costumes to be the easiest thing in the world. Costumes are probably not, especially given that the way the game's art style works with sprites. I do imagine that there's a little bit of an issue with stuff like that. And it's probably more complex than people realize. I also think that it's, from everything I've heard over the years, it sounds like the animation department is the one that's like the most strapped for like people. So like I'm always surprised when we even hear from the animation department, let alone when like we get something unexpected like an actual costume. Because everything seems to indicate that they are the department that is pushed the hardest and always the one that, like, if we ever have a delay, if there's ever an issue in something, it's usually the cause of the animation department, which isn't to say that like they're bad or anything like that. If anything, all signs seem to point to they are just understaffed. That is really their biggest problem. I wouldn't mind paid skins. They actually did them well. I wouldn't either. I think the problem is going to be with something like that like they have to still have the manpower to do it. So I think it's like every time they spend doing a costume, like I just said, like, oh, don't treat it as a zero-sum game. Whereas like just because, you know, like Unit A got something doesn't mean that like you can't see another like Unit B thing. But I am going to say that when it comes to the actual workload that department can handle, yes, it probably is a zero-sum game. It's probably, they can only work on so many things at a time. So maybe what ends up happening is for every costume that they do, that's another like animation update for another character that they're not going to get done. Or maybe that's like, I don't know, like another character entirely that won't get done. So I'm not going to say that that's necessarily the case, but it could be something like that. Baka mitai. Really want a new Gilgamesh this year. I think it'll be interesting to see because I think a lot of us were expecting that like Strange Fake and stuff was going to be a thing this year. And chat, it is March. We have not gotten anything for a hot second. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that's probably not going to be a thing. Like, I'll be very amazed if we get Strange Fake by the end of the year. Given the fact that we still don't have a like slot for it. So if we don't get Strange Fake this year, anime wise, we're sure as fuck not getting anything in the game for it. Does one episode a year. Yeah, that is their current average. Fate Proto still needs a collab. I mean, at some point they may actually want to like animate Prototype or something. So we'll see. There is a Proto Gil. That is a thing. How am I doing for the shop? I don't even think I've been in here yet. God, I'm one off of being nice. Sugi Sugite. Gonna grab that. Gonna grab that if I can. That's gonna cap out. I'm actually kind of amazed that my Hearts of the Foreign God are creeping down. Did we have the dice in a lotto, chat? Did I forget about that? Was that a thing? I don't remember having 700 of that. All right, there's JP done. Let's do some advanced quest, chat. That I can regret my life's story. Oh, nani. All right, chat. Well, I look up something about the advanced quest. Tell me if you agree. Why are there two hammers? Because this is an IQ bell curve. So hammer and greatsword are the stupidest weapons to use and also the smartest weapons to use. Like you have the low end of the spectrum that's like, I use these because they're strong. And then you have the high end of the spectrum that's like, I am strong because I use these. Either the smallest brains or have the biggest brain moves. Yep, exactly. Okay, so we just got Advanced Quest Part 14. Hammermane checks out. Yep. Miku feeling things in the background. Listen. At least it's not like complete AI slop. Like, I consider Hatsune Miku to be like not the current like AI music stuff. The dice were in the choice ticket from the Abbey Maslato. That's got to be it then. I probably just completely took it. What was I doing? Where was I going? We were going to advanced quests. Oh god, I have 12 of them. All right, Cursed Mansion. What is this one? It doesn't look like that's from part 14. So it's probably like 12, 13, and 14 are the ones that I haven't done. Yes, this one's from part 13. This is 2 waves of ghastly ghouls. Which doesn't seem like that's going to cause me any problems. Because, wait, does she have Invul and Pierce? I don't remember. Remove defensive buffs. It's probably unremovable. If I had to guess. Wait, why did I go to caster? What's wrong with me? Hey, dude. Nah, 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 nah. Saber does not Zerk, yeah. I don't know. Wait, is party cost an issue? Yeah, party cost is apparently an issue. It's got to be a 3-star. There we go. That'll work. I'll just pray to God that I have enough here. And that I don't get, like, instant frickin' stunned. Oh, it's just a 1 out of 1. I didn't even realize. There we go. We'll send it. Music reminds me of Come Sweet Death. Have you never heard Hey Jude? It's an old Beatles song. That does. That's, I mean, it's basically need an entire kit buff. And 1 buff isn't enough to help them. But like I've said before, it really depends on, like, your mentality, right? Like, if you look at it and you say, hey, I just need better performance out of the unit, that is easy to achieve with 1 buff. But if you're looking at it and you're like, hey, their entire kit is crap and needs to be overhauled, like, yeah, you can give them a buff and the buff will make them strong. But at that point, it is better to do it across multiple. Na 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 na. Okay, Centaur taking a wife. What? What is the name of this? Yearly Meteor Horseshoes. Wait, what is this one from? Did I have older ones that I hadn't done? I guess I did because I had 12, so I must not have touched it since Advanced Quest Part 11 either. Yeah, there you go. Okay, acquire resistance to all attacks and raises resistance to instant death. Effect is nullified when in the charmed state. Okay, I see the gimmick here. And what are they? They are all writers. Okay. All right, I can do this. So apparently if you take an entire female team, it like just hard screws them. So that's what we're going to do. Let's see. Where is she? Where's my Matahari? There she is. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Are you ready, baby? I probably have room for another 3-star, but do I have another 3-star AoE assassin? I have single target, but I don't have AoE really. Let me check one thing, chat. Yep, okay. 90% of all the AQs that just looped with Hoku? Yeah. Looks at your AoE Assassin Saberface? True. But I did just want Charm because apparently it just completely screws them. There you go. They all got Charm, so they're all deactivated. This is an easy win. Now, it does say you could use other Charm units. It's like Europa. Yeah, Summer Mabe, Europa, Scheherazade, Matahari, obviously shooting, Summer Kama, and Ranmaru. The only issue with Ranmaru is going to be Ranmaru's gender unknown, so be careful with that, because that's not going to count for the deactivation of you taking all females. Because apparently they just get like super high resistance. So that was an easy one as well. Hopefully they all stay this easy, where it's just an easy out to each gimmick. 8 Serpent Kings. Serpiente. Okay, so what do we got? Gotta be Serpentize. Okay, each snake has their own passive skill. But if you apply burn to them, their passive skills go away. Do we have somebody that does burn before damage? We have an AoE burn before damage unit. Could you use cast a list to apply the burn on skill? Oh yeah, let me see. Is it all one wave? So it lists it as 3 different battles. So I'd probably prefer not to. Although The only real problem is Naga Sagara, which is in the first wave. So I guess like that's the only one I technically need to burn. Oh, I guess also Utpalaka, which will cancel the defensive disadvantage of the class compatibility. They're all casters, so looping this with a rider is really ideal. Got it bad, got it bad, got it bad. I'm hot for teacher. It's funny that I like I'm not even listening, but I'm like osmosising the song. And chat, if you song request 80s rock, I will always go for it. Yeah, so I guess I mean it's casters, so I should be able to. But let's just try one of these. Where's Liz? Liz, where is yous? There's yous is. Not lead or leave an assassin in my back line. That's probably a bad idea. Well, screw it. Let's go with Ryder. Boom. That will work. We got plug suit already equipped, so we should be fine. Well, Liz being useful. Yeah, I mean, Liz... Again, Avalon brought it up. It's a really good point. She has the burn on skill, so it's like I was sitting there thinking, it's like, oh, that's not going to work because I'm going to need it for 3 different waves. But I mean, the ones in the later waves don't actually matter. They're just offensive buffs. So it's like, who cares? There you go. They're all burned. Give the stars per turn. And just let her go to town. You don't even need to burn their pushovers? Yeah, I probably could have, but at least we're doing this the correct way. And it's like, there's other units you could use with the burn. I think if memory serves, doesn't Tomoe Archer also have burn on like her attack skill? Or am I... No, it's the NP that has it, isn't it? It's not AoE burn like Liz is. Yeah, it's like there's other ways you can do it. You can do it via command codes. Like I said, there's probably a unit out there that has burn before NP damage rather than after. So could be a thing. But either way, really only that first wave is the problem because that first wave has defensive buffs that would prevent you. Everything else, you can kind of just loop right over. Like I'm using surf mode, but if surf mode is too old of a unit for you, you can definitely make it like make do with, you know, any berserker or any like a unit that could just kind of deal enough neutral damage to loop over the top of these suckers. It's just a 3/3/2 node. Kyo wishes she had burned before NP because of the charge. Yeah. Yep. The Kyo change was very interesting. I still think it's weird to give it to her, but it's definitely nice because it works a lot like Salters does. So you're just gonna have quite a capacity to actually like be able to 3-turn with her now. Boy, I know I'll never use that one. Oh, it's the Serpent Jewel one. Okay, Dream of the Created. So this one is whatchamacallit? Tearstones of Blood. It's not from 11. Not from 12. Not from 13. So this must be, yes, it is. Wait. No, that's Homunculus, baby. That's not Tearstones of Blood. Okay. The little like symbol threw me off there, so that's my bad. But either way, it is from part 14. Okay, Okay, it's 3 enemies, one of which is a 240k Lancer. Spicy. Start a battle. Absorbs the wandering spirits on the field. Gains a buff every time 2 wandering ghosts are absorbed. Oh. So you want to single target it? What? Following debuffs are given to all allies when defeated. Okay. Yeah, I feel like I could just brutalize this. And I feel like I'm going to. So, I'm going to do this the like terrible, absolutely no good way. Obviously you don't have to do it this way. You could take like a single target, right? And then like try to just murder the main homunculus, being that is the problem child. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna do it. Oh, now unfortunately we don't have Merlin's upgrade on an A yet, so well, I could just take a different mystic code. So yeah, let's do that. You don't have to do things this way. I just I like to. I like to absolutely just crap on these sorts of quests. So you will see me. Where's my Koyan? I am blind. There we go. You will see me sometimes kind of T-pose on these just because I can. Wee! Wee! Let's remove her from the back line. Boom, there we go. And we just need a different one. The best thing for this sort of thing is probably going to be something like Halloween Royalty. It's got the 10% charge. I'm trying to think. That one does as well, but I believe... Yeah, it's all allies, so that's not going to be as good as a single focused Mystic Code. Actually, I guess it technically didn't matter. I could have still taken it. I did my math there wrong. Because Saber already has 30% charge herself, so it didn't really matter. I could have taken a better Mystic Code even. Something that would have scaled a little bit more. Oh, okay. I didn't see that it had guts. That's a little bit spicier. I guess the question is, does it come back at full? Could have taken Oberon. Well, about that. Because now it automatically absorbed, and I'm just not sure what that's going to do. Hopefully this is enough to just slaughter it, but maybe I messed up with this. Because I just didn't think it was going to immediately absorb, but okay. There's easily enough damage there. That will easily be enough, and there we go. So still a 1 turn didn't matter. Yeah, I was worried that like the guts was gonna be like a full health revival or something, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be glad I didn't take Oberon, but yeah, I mean, again, you could easily amplify a unit to deal more damage. In that regard, then you didn't even need AoE. You could have just taken a strong single target and just had it kind of shit on it, and it would have been perfectly fine. Okay, next one up here is Frugativi et appellavi. I have no idea what that means. I don't speak enough. Actually, which one did it look like? Oh, it's Demon Hearts. We don't often get a lot of the 5-star ones. I wonder how long it's going to take them to actually give us certain like 5-star rarity materials. Sorry, I keep calling them 5-star rarity, like gold materials. Okay, so it looks like we've got 3 battles here: a 100k demon, a 200k demon, a archdemon, and a worshiper in the final wave. And those are 255 and 300k respectively, and it looks like there's some sort of condition where everything's health can change. Decreased damage against servants with... Or sorry, damage increased against servants with good traits. Okay, so if you take good units and they get to counter you, it's going to be a problem. The Archdemon is still alive. Reduce own HP to 0 after 3 turns of activation. Wait, really? Oh, that's spicy. So somebody can be changed to an assassin. And you actually don't want to take evil units, because that is apparently the condition that increases the health value. Yeah, shouldn't be too hard. So we'll probably go arts for this. I actually really like one of my arts writers. Jack can probably figure out which one I'm talking about. Right here. So Murasaki is just phenomenal at destructifying certain things like this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go full-on loop setup here. So I'm going to try to facilitate kind of as much as humanly possible. I'm actually... Well, I'll probably work back in Prisma Cosmos just so that I can kind of maybe get to an NP if I need to for protective purposes. And then over here, I'm actually going to go ahead and snag Umu Bride's Bonsi, which is actually quite nice. And then I'll also have Proto here kind of hanging out. And let's see, do I want Black Grail? So health values are going to get up to about 300k. I could probably handle the first 2 demons pretty easily, but I'm a little bit worried about the third one, and I'm probably going to run out. So I think the safer call is actually going to be to run with something like this. And then I'm not going to have to worry too much about health being a little bit of a problem or anything like that. Let's go ahead, switch back here. We should be fine. Drake is evil? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't worry. I only even have 4 servants in this loadout, so the odds of me having 3 evils are slim to none, especially considering I have Bride, who is, well, Bride trait. So, right there off the bat, let's go ahead. Probably unnecessary, but, oh wow, 68%. Oh, that's kind of annoying. So I clearly don't have her mana loading maxed out, but I didn't look at that before going in, so that was dumb of me. I'll just go ahead and give her the NP gain up, probably to her benefit. Now, at this point, I could rotate, but I'd kind of lose the effect of the Near Bride Bonsi. So let's just go ahead and pop this and kind of see. She should easily kill, so the question is going to be more of how much refund does she get? Yeah, if you guys never used Murasaki Rider before, she's really, really nice. Very fluid in how she can kind of loop. And even though she's a debuff-centric unit, so I didn't get the card. Murasaki's arts card is really good performing, but, well, if you don't get an arts card at all, it can be a little bit of a problem. And it is going to be a little bit of a problem for me because I am just shy. So we're going to lose probably another turn of uptime for her. But in that regard, it may be decent that I did stagger because we were going to run out either way. I actually think I'm just going to go ahead and sack it for this turn, and we're going to do that. Hopefully the demon doesn't go ham on Lady Avalon there. As long as she doesn't, we should be fine. Oh no, not NP strength down on my unit that doesn't have an offensive NP. What will I do? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run with that. So we do still have full effective buffage here for this turn. Unfortunately, that probably means she's going to clean kill the demon again. So I maybe shouldn't have done the arts buff. I maybe should have held off on that just to kind of force the carding in order to help out my refund situation. But there you guys go. You guys can see. And actually, it wouldn't have mattered. It would have killed even without the arts buff. We were doing so much damage there. I was gonna say, so who I actually wish to kill is Mr. Worshipper there. And I think what we're gonna do, we're just gonna go ahead, pop that right out of the rip. Kind of stop him from getting there. We're also gonna go ahead and use this as sort of fuel. To try and improve Murasaki's looping scenario by giving her charge per turn. We're just kind of trying to stall the demon a little bit. The demon's really not going to be a problem. The Devil Worshipper, if you don't kill him within 3 turns, is going to give a lot of buffs to the devil. Okay. That did not do a lot of damage, so this could get spicy in a hurry. Got 1 turn remaining on some of that. I have no idea how much mitigation that is. But it looks like we only dealt about 3k, so... obviously the Castoria attack wasn't much, but we did have a Murasaki card in there. It was an arts card that was buffed, and we still only got 3k out of that. So that's going to be a pretty hefty thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that. And I think we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to try to focus a little bit more on getting Castoria back to an NP. But we'll see. This may be a misplay. So fighter goes chomp. Oh, easy kill. Wow. Okay, I way overestimated the damage resistance there. Not entirely sure why, but we should be fine. So I've got 3 turns basically to get her back. I'm gonna actually abstain from, well, problem is I'm not gonna get the synergy there if I don't. It's just the 1 turn of debuff resist, so I think I sit on that for right now. I actually think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buff Squirtoria here, or sorry, not Squirtoria, Castoria here a little bit, and give her the extra charge that she's closer to an NP. because I'm confident. Yeah, I was gonna say Murasaki's arts card does really good work. You guys can see is a relatively fluid and under control thing, and we are pretty much back to full. We're just gonna kind of let the devil do his work here. And we're going to kind of let the timers on the skills tick up for another turn. Hopefully get more of the things to align here. Fire off the NP to make sure that, yep, yet again, we are just getting to that NP, and it's going to be easy. Keeping everybody topped off. Keeping us out of the, like, murder range of that guy. Holy crap. Okay, maybe not. Bro just hard targeted right there. Okay, so he gets no skills. Pew, pew, pew. Yep, that's the thing I've got to be careful of with him. And if he actually turns on Castoria here, I'm in a little bit of trouble. Not entirely, because honestly, like, she's probably going to loop here. I've got 2 cards that have high crit chance. There you go. That was just a quick card, and boom, look at that arts crit. The thing of beauty, chat. And that's one of the things I really like about using Murasaki. Her base refund, not too good, but the second you get those cards into rotation, she can just sit here and do this over and over and over again. So it makes it really, really effective. We've already pretty much used everything else in our roster, so we're just going to go ahead, fire off the NP, and finish this. So a little bit mismanaged there in the like second wave, but it is what it is. Sometimes it happens, and honestly, you just kind of got to play good to get out of it. The more you know about the game, the more you know how to treat certain situations, and the more likely you are to get out of a, like, oh no, what do? I used the buffs at the wrong time. And it happens to everybody. There you go, nice and easy. Pretty much always under control. No real threat of failure. There is that one. Looks like we got the octuplets one next. Great rotation of heaven and earth. This one is just Fergus. So Fergus gets, 2 NP charges per turn. Increases his own mental debuff resistance and decreases his own NP damage by 4. Oh, okay, and then every time he uses his MP, he removes the damage down. Okay, Fergus. Oh, yuck. So get 30% NP down every turn? Sorry, NP drained every turn. As long as he's on Wilderness. And he starts out in Wilderness. Yuck, heaven's going to be a little bit nasty if we get to it. So I don't think this will be too bad. I'm going to do the exact same thing we just did, only with my Squirtle. My Squirtle's really strong. You don't have to do something like this, but if you do have an archer that can sit here and kind of just single target him, it's probably going to be the most ideal scenario. Yeah, I think this will be best. I actually won't really care about that this time around, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to switch this out for just a natural, like, sort of star bomb. See, where is it? Well, there's a particular one that I was looking for, but we can use Golden Catches the Carp. That one's definitely a nice one. It's an older one, but there are plenty of Star Bomb Seas if you don't have it. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and start with this. Probably just rotate immediately. Honestly, it doesn't appear that he has like any sort of defense or anything like that. So if you're apprehensive about him like getting off his NP, oh well, apparently he is going to get off his NP. Well, we should be fine. We'll do something here to help with that. Now I don't think Fergus is Sky attribute. But Fergus shouldn't have. Oh, he actually gets invincibility pierce for 1 turn. Wow. Okay. I didn't read the fine print on this one. So we may be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, he's also going to get damage cut. Oh. Spicy. I'll see if that'll help, but I don't think it will. So go ahead and fire it. Let this play out. If this fails, we'll go back, we'll rerun it. I'll make an adjustment because I'll just change the C's around. Not reading truly an FGO player. I just didn't read the loadout on fandom here. Yep, he fully charges. So he's gonna slaughter us. Actually, he fails to kill Castoria. Or sorry, Squirtoria. The real problem is going to be, again, that he has that 7 times 1 million HP damage cut. So there's really no point in firing off an NP. The problem is going to be the more he starts to hit me here. So whenever you're faced with something like this, chat, I highly recommend just trying to go and like use as many attacks as you can. So like he's got 7 times cut, so I'm taking a Brave Chain, so I just got rid of 4 of them. Now he only has 3, so technically my extra attack here will hit. The problem is he is very likely to NP. I basically have 1 more turn to live. And the other issue here is like all of my crap's gonna wear off. So if I'm lucky, I can drain him, but then my Squirtle probably dies right after that because he's probably going to card me out. Okay, so down goes his damage cut. All of this could have been prevented with one singular craft essence change. And then, you know, honestly, this is exactly the scenario where it's like, Castoria just works great for this sort of thing. And I don't get the drain, so he is very likely to just kill me outright. But if he doesn't kill me, I win. Ooh, okay, so I'm dead. That's just an abject failure. Oh, thanks. The terrain changed. Okay, let's try that one more time. Oh, apparently I'm out of, well, whatever. Bronze fruit. So chat, all we had to do was take a 50% C on my Castoria. And it could be like any C. It does not matter. It's just like, that would just be literally the only thing. And then I'd be able to like reasonably charge her up. But I'm going to go even easier than that. I'm going to slap on a K-scope so that I'm not having to dictate when the skills are getting used. He literally dragged you to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, he switches fields every single time. He fires off an NP, and they each have different effects. The best ones are pretty much right there at the beginning. Because I can basically just stop him from dealing with this. Okay, we'll fire it. Should be okay. And then this way we get Castoria's MP off. He does no damage here. And like I'm gonna say this, I know a lot of people like don't like using Castoria in challenges and stuff. It's perfectly fine, but when the game throws at you a max charge on bar break plus invuln pierce, the game is begging you to use Castoria. So it's like just use it, make your life easier. If you don't want to, obviously you could try to like debilitate him. You could try to stun him so that he can't fire the NP. All of those are potential solutions to this issue. Wow. Oh boy. Okay, we're actually going to go with that. They actually went to lava first. I'm just kind of using all of her stuff because she's about to die either way. So I can actually still get 3 cards here, interestingly enough. Remember, he's got the damage cut, so trying to blow through a 1 million HP damage cut's probably not going to happen. So it's at one of those deals where it's like, you just card it. And so I'm going to take 3 here. I'm going to hope for a Brave Chain on the next turn that takes the rest of his crap. Oh, I just see the song skip. There you go. You guys don't like Bohemian Rhapsody? Okay, so I did get a Squirtoria Brave Chain here. Gonna go ahead and pop that. And that, but I'm not sure that'll work. So there goes the man's damage cut. And if I didn't get it, if somehow I didn't get the Brave Chain, it just means I'd probably need to like pre-card the next turn. So no real skin off my back. So at this point, I'm actually going to take it like that. No lucky Umu crit. Hopefully we get a lucky drain there. We do. And it doesn't matter. He's dead anyways. Now, part of that's due to the strength of my Squirtoria. But yeah, that one's actually a sneaky hard one, I can see. Just in the sense of the instant charge with Invuln Pierce, a little annoying. And he's going to keep getting to his NP over and over and over again. So you want adequate defenses to try to be able to counter him. But as usual, party cost in the advanced quest is a little bit of a bear. And yeah, you could probably try to overpower it. That could be a thing. I just didn't necessarily want to. Okay, so next up here, we've got bullets, looks like. Gunpowder. Oh, what is this? Oh yeah, Breath of the Wild's amazing just in terms of um its crafting system. Oh, sorry, no, I'm thinking Tears of the Kingdom, not Breath of the Wild. I mean, Breath of the Wild's still good on its own. Most of them, it's been a while. Yeah, this one's from Advanced Quest Group 12. So let's see. So we've got 3 battles, one of which is against a final demon instructor that has 408k HP and is a archer. So after you use an attack MP, your MP is sealed for 3 turns. Wow. Yet there's a high health archer in each wave. So what is my demon instructor? He's just a normal hornet male. Humanoid. He's technically mechanical, but I think that's not there. I think that's an ordeal call. As you get MP sealed. Yeah, it's definitely something you could do. Or you could try to take multiple MPs. Since you're gonna kind of be locked in. So oh yuck, the walking time bombs are kind of nasty. I wonder if you can debuff immune the NP seal. Oh nope, never mind. It's at the start of battle, so oh yuck, and each one. John Booty, maybe, yeah. But it's probably an unavoidable fight specific effect, if I had to guess. So I'm thinking one of the ways to handle this is to basically just take a bunch of AoE Lancers and try to crap on it. And kind of just see where we go from there. Honestly, I have no idea if mine will be able to deal enough. Because I only have an NP1. And I don't have her maxed out on her. I mean, I can probably get to that. And then who do I maybe want on my backline? Hidu is definitely not a bad, like, power option here. Oh, wait, does NA have his 50% charge? Yes, we do. Sweet. Could not remember. me H and S for that. So the real problem is going to be the time bomb that reduces the HP of all player servants by 3,000 after 3 turns. But I think that's just you have 3 turns to kill them, so that may not be too terrible. And I think what I'm going to try to do on the side here is I'm going to try to get Lartoria back to an NP. Because I think that can work. We'll give a buff to the unit that finishes them off. Why does the demon instructor give you anything? He's the last unit. Whatever. Let's go in. Let's test it. Let's see how it works. Maybe throw in like a backline mash. Just for extra tankability there. Honestly, I probably should have taken OG Mystic Code for the stun. Just in case I needed to. Because the real problem is going to be I need to make sure I kill each book. Okay, everybody's got some buffs. So I actually have the Tamamo cards here to get her. I have like all of the Tamamo cards here. He's got the Buster resist up, so I think I gotta pop that. We're basically gonna inverse Mighty Chain that. I don't know if we'll kill. We probably will kill the Walking Time Bomb, at least. We do, but we don't kill the Astute Instructor, which I guess is fine. Like having him be the last one alive is okay. Oh, so they each have to flow in one at a time. That's gonna be annoying. That's actually going to be annoying. So we just card him out, take that free and easy opportunity while she's kind of stuck. Oh, burn. Come on, man. That's spicy. I think we got to go with the heal here. I guess what I could try to do here is I could just try to go for the crits. Try to stagger the cards, maybe. I don't know. Damn. No crit out of all of that. Wow. I guess there was only about a half. Oh my god. Books, please stop critting me. What the heck? And then that crit. Okay. A lot of MPing to max HP. Yeah, I could see that. Well, the good news is I've pretty much qualified for all of my other concerns here. The issue is going to be there are... Oh, God, there is another instructor on the back line here. Well, fuck me. This is not going to be great. Lalter's probably going to die just due to just taking damage at this point. But the good news is the walking time bomb's not going to be too much of a problem here. Problem is that did not do jack crap for damage. Okay, we're at least getting some of the stuff back. We're getting some of our offensive buffs. I have not a single Buster card. Come on, game. Gonna take it. Okay. Thank God, Lartoria's quick card's always better than they look. That writing buff coming into play. I've now got another walking time bomb. It's the Buster resist that's killing me here. Although I think the Demon Instructor doesn't have it. Oh shit, no, that was still the other one. Crap, I forgot. Oh, and of course. He's going to take reduction to all of these, so I'm kind of trying to sit on Tamamo Lancer for right now because she's the one that God, nice, perfect. She's the one I'm kind of counting on to take down the final dude since he is mail traded. I'm just going to literally take all the Buster cards here. Hopefully crit. No, God. I like how the first one was the one who crit. Please don't kill my my Lartoria. Oh, that's a 100% Buster card. I'm just going to play it like that. If I need the card, I need the card. If I don't, I don't. Still having Kidu and Mash on the back line. So Lalter's actually done a really good job of staying up at this point. I'm actually kind of surprised that she has. Oh, perfect. She got the NP damage buff. That's going to work out for me. Bro, enough with the Buster resists. You ass. I really don't want to touch that that second skill to Mama's. The defense down would be nice, but I need to sit on that. And she technically doesn't need this. Not yet. I mean, I guess the NP gain here would be nice, but oh well. But yeah, this is why we took to Mama Lancer. And she did jack shit for damage. Holy crap. A Buster reduction. Oh my god, my NP1. It got absolutely bodied. I probably shouldn't use that too early. All these quick cards, I swear. Man. She's got the invul and she's going to stay up for at least another turn. Hmm. Okay. Doesn't matter. He's charmed anyways. She's got one more turn. She's to her and P. So let's prioritize other people's cards. $98. 98. Let's see, because I have no idea who he's going to hit here. Oh, it looks like he changed his debuffs. He's now Buster Quick instead of Buster Arts instead of Buster Quick. All right, that's just pathetic. not her damage. Her damage there was good. I'm just like, in comparison to Tamama Lancer's damage, like, what the heck? So it worked. And Waifu stays alive. Unfortunately, Lulter passed. Yeah, to me, that's how they probably intended you to do it a little bit, but I do think you're probably safer taking some form of sustain. The problem is going to be, again, killing the walking time bombs, because you basically have 3 turns to kill them. Everything else you can kind of draw out, but those need to die. Okay, sorry, what was this? This was the feather one. Okay. Chat, is this 2 waves and then Penth, or is this a group of 6 and then Penth? Three with Penth in the back line? Yuck. You basically got to like 1 turn each of these. So they do have man attribute. Okay. Penth, however, is earth. I was gonna say, like, I probably have an easy solution to that, and that's this. Hmm. Oh, actually, Nkitu's not a bad option to keep on the back line here. Because my Nkitu can probably one-tap her. And can stun her. The bigger issue is, can I make my Morgan kill? And I bet I can. The problem is going to be, I would like to do this flat-footed. So we're gonna actually give ourselves the best possible odds of success by giving everybody K-scope. I don't have to do this, but it's just generically probably going to improve my odds. So let's see. Because basically I'm trying to get 2 NPs out of Morgan. And with only 2 supports, that's a little bit on the spicy side. It's a 6-man wave? Oh, is it? That's even easier. This is CQ, right? No, this wasn't. Okay, so you did tell me wrong. It's fine. Honestly, let's just go with that. Just in case anything lives. And since it's everything... Screw it, I think we send it, but... We're kind of protected for this turn, so we'll just sit on this. And then hopefully this kills everything other than, again, maybe like one of the peoples. Wow, they all lived. Should have gone with more damaging, see. Spicy meatball. Could ease that, overcharge it a little bit. We can just power overwhelming them all. Yeah, I mean, if I had, I would have probably done like Oberon at that point. I would have literally just like sold out to kill them all. I just didn't realize. I thought it was I was going to need to NP back to back, which I still wouldn't have had enough damage. So definitely miscalculated that. But either way, like we got it done. Now this is the problem. So good news is, whee! Bad news is, oh god. Should be stunned here by this. Even if it doesn't kill. Get Enema Elished and it easily killed because Nkitu is dumb. There you go. So the only hard part was the first wave, apparently. Not bad. Next up is, the shell one. This one's one of the newer ones from part 14. This is Mabe and 2 of her ardent fans. we actually kind of want to just card this, is what it's sounding like. Where is he? I'm gonna throw him in the back line here real fast. Kill randos before her. Yep. Who do I want to use this for? Somebody that I can hit really hard with. Honestly, let's go for it. Hmm. My Bazette killed this in one turn. You know what? I actually like that idea. Let's go with it. Let's see what we can do. I mean, it's probably not going to work, but like, what's the worst that could happen? I get charmed. Couldn't be me. Let's give her Golden Sumo. That's possible, yes. I know. Do Skadoodle by Skadoodle. Wait a minute. And I think because we're probably not going to plug, you'll take OG Mystic Code here to help out a little bit. And then I think I'm also going to, well, just go with that. See what happens. I have an MP5, so it didn't really matter. Yeah, I mean, I have an MP5 too. Mine's not grailed or anything, but it's one of those deals where it's like, as long as she's quote unquote adequately protected, we should be fine. I guess it also technically depends on who moves first. Bro. Bro. Come on, man. Should have known. If she's gonna charm someone, it just needs to not be Bizette. Had to say something, didn't you? I guess so. Okay, she didn't get anyone. Great. Perfect. Works like a charm. Okay, so she's gonna do some dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Okay, so that still counts as an offensive NP. That's unfortunate. They do gain guts, yeah. Jesus, dude, what is that? Okay, she's got one more turn here until I'm Fraggle rocked. I gotta hope this Buster crit does the job. And I doubt it does because it's just a single Summer Scotty. But maybe. It did. Why won't you die? Okay. I mean, I probably should have popped the attack buff on her. That might have helped, but it just is what it is. I say she's probably gonna kill Bazette. She does, because you, Mabe. You did that perfectly to perfectly bring me in for no freaking reason other than we can't have nice things. So, chat, I could let her off the hook, but I'm not gonna. Not gonna let her off the hook. And if that Scotty crits her to death, you know what? She was spared. She was spared the inevitable bonking. Yeah, unfortunately, she still counts as an offensive NP, which sucks. If you hit them with any NP, it gives them guts. So you're actually supposed to card them. I was probably going to go Himiko and like crit them to death, and I think that would have been the safer route. But, well, it worked. As long as it worked. Wouldn't she like it? I don't know. Probably, right? Oh, God, there are still 3 more. Holy crap. These add up. Okay, so which one is this? This is a bunch of extra class. Oh, it's our Dust CE. So let me guess. This one's the bad one, right? Notes, in this battle, the enemy will transform into a different servant in class each time they are hit with a Noble Phantasm attack. For the enemies that are in the slots, they will rotate each time, but they will still share the damage from their previous attacks. For example, if you attack Type Saber with 250,000 HP left, then after the swap, Type Lancer will also have 250 HP. Wait, I'm confused. Wait, that's the highlights one? Yeah, I'm looking at this one. Wait, is this the wrong one? This is a different dust one? Do I have 2 dust ones? I do have 2 dust ones. I'm sorry. Oopsie. Well, you know what? Let's go ahead. Let's do this one first. Since this is the one that I'm reading. Okay, so it sounds like you actually want to go like people like Arash, Habitrotter, etc. are recommended. Yeah, but I feel like I kind of want to go Invincible comp and like again, like do something like Tai Sui or something here. Because the only issue will be the Pretender. I guess if I go Berserker, the only issue is Foreigner, but then I have issues with Survival. Let's go for the Arts variant. Well, let's save that for right this second. Gonna flip flop those. Gonna get it down to 4 turns. Yeah. I guess the ruler would be an issue as well. Yeah, so this is basically just a survival scenario. I think I don't take Black Grail. Wait, do I have the I do, but it's not level 100. I mean, I guess I could go make it level 100 right now. Well, no, let's just run with this for now. BB will have evade, so prepare for that too. Yeah. Well, I guess if BB's gonna have evade, what we can do is we could just do that. And she'll just always have it. Honestly, well. Tai Sui's a god here? Okay, so hold on. So why are you guys recommending Tai Sui though? Because I'm seeing a lot of night classes. I'm seeing a lot of like things that would be resistant to Tai Sui. Like I kind of agreed with it at first glance, but I'm looking at it and like class analysis wise, this doesn't look good for Tai Sui. Because the curse? So what advantage are you guys asking for the curse? Just like ticking damage? The debuff stay when the enemy transforms. Okay, yeah. So you guys are looking at it for the ticking damage standpoint. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. I just like I feel like you'd be stuck chunking some of these for a long time. Whereas, like, the only issue I'm going to have with Musashi here is going to be the Foreigner. That's it. That's the only thing. But we'll try it. Let's see. Because I have no idea how this is going to go. I am definitely glad to get these done, though. These have been piling up. Clearly, I let them pile up a little bit too long. I didn't realize I had this many of them. We are going to treat this like it's a we're going to treat it like it's a proper what's the word I'm looking for? Wow. That did jack shit. Okay, so I ended up attacking the wrong one there. We're just going to treat it like it's a proper invincible comp. The issue is going to, of course, be that, well, these people getting their NPs at the same time could be problematic. So, Chad, are they going to keep rotating, or do they just, like, when they get to the end, they stop? They keep rotating. Okay. I actually think we just go ahead and we take that. Take that free NP charge for Castoria. Because this comp is going to live and die on how quickly these supports can get to their NPs. And I think, like, after a couple of these, it should be fine. I definitely see what you're saying, though. Like, if we had stacked up a couple of sacrificial lambs to have them basically just MP, you get 2 free NPs, like, right off the bat. The charge is going to be a little bit difficult to predict. So this is kind of the oopsie turn. These two don't have an offensive Noble Phantasm. Debating if I want to use the invuln here. Lily laser time. I mean, we can mock lilies and P anyways, but it would still be enough to kill us, chat. That is the issue. This is actually probably my safest turn to face. I really kind of need the left unit dead, because the left unit is the one that has invuln pierce. Also, what the heck happened to my Jesus? Okay, that now we got to do that. Let them deal effective damage at least. Yeah, I've got to try to recover Castoria from that. Oh, that stuns a little dickish. And on the turn, everybody else still got it. I'm going to use that defensively. It's really not a good play, but it buys me some more time. And I get to just keep chunking this dumbass. So is BB going to come in after I defeat all three of these, chat? Or is it going to be only once I've defeated one of the enemies? Far left will rotate to her eventually. Okay. Really doesn't matter. Only problem is going to be that I'm about to get an offensive NP here because of this. But it's technically not a problem. Oh, good. At least the NPCL triggers or transfers over. I dodged a little bit spicy. Wait, what do you mean you can bypass her? You can kill the left unit before it gets to BB. Yeah, I mean, if something tells me it's going to get to BB. Just a hunch. So she's already got like guaranteed invuln pierce anyways. So I think I just let it happen. Sally is the asshole with that evade. Yeah. I mean, the left one's the problem because basically they're just going to sit there and be kind of tanky. They have the most health. They're the least likely to die. So we've already killed the middle one. But the problem is now this means they get extra turns. All right, there's BB. Oh, and Pigify. Yuck. Okay, I get it, BB. Holy shit. So, Chad, if I hit BB with another Noble Phantasm, will she rotate out? No. So I'm stuck with her. Does she ever rotate out? She's here to stay. Okay. That's fine. I think the biggest issue is her ability to defensive buff remove. That's definitely a problem. I've still got one turn of buffs. I think I just kind of full send it, and I hope to God that that Castoria does not die right here. Thankfully, they all went after Musashi there, so that actually bought me some time. I have another NP that I can do. This will NP seal the unit. Problem is, there's a real issue here, and that issue is that whoever comes up next. Let me look at the rotation real fast. So it's Ku. He's a single target. I like my odds there. Yeah, honestly, she's the only problem in the right one is Lily because she's an AoE NP, and Musashi should have NP sealed her, but I guess she resisted. Too bad Musashi doesn't have her NP buff. If Musashi had her NP buff, that right group would have probably been the first one dead. So. Honestly, the middle one wasn't too bad either. Because it's basically Jekyll and Hyde. Okay, see, that's what I didn't want. I did not want the buff removal. Like, BB's kind of terrorizing me with that crap right now. He's gonna hit somebody, and if he... Wait, I'm pretty positive he has sure hit. No, just defense ignore. Sweet. Okay. Crap. Then BB's gonna fire off her NP, so everybody kind of needs to get to an NP in the next turn. Because BB just hard stripped me of, like, all of my capabilities here. I mean, technically, not everybody needs to, but at least the right to do. So we're going to try our damnedest. Oh, you're kidding me. You're actually kidding me. Yeah, I messed up. I meant to take the Atlas Mystic Code and I forgot to change it. And boy, would it have helped already twice this fight. It would have helped for debuff removal, and it would have helped for hey, I actually have an invul. So I think I do that, and then I think I do that. Oh, I picked right. I picked so right. Thank God. Thank God. That was close. Okay, back in the saddle again. Yeah, BB's ability to remove defensive buffs and the fact that she can spam that as an NPC is just so nasty. Like, it's one of the like kind of unspoken things, because obviously as a player you can only use certain skills every couple of turns. But as an NPC, there is no cooldown. They can absolutely spam skills. And so it gets really hairy depending on what you're fighting. I'll never forget, all the way back in Summer 1, fighting against a Jack in a node. And the Jack just kept kept buff stripping me and also kept spamming dodge. And it was one of the most infuriating things to try to deal with due to the way that that event worked. There you go. So Castoria loses all of her buffs again. What the heck, man? Okay, so who do I got? I got one more turn there. Sashi really needs to stay alive, but she does at least have her guts at the time. But Musashi doesn't really have any capacity to get to an NP, but neither does Castoria this turn. Wow, this is just spicy all around. So I think that's the proper play. I could use that. But let's do this. I've still got another turn. Assuming BB doesn't just insta-gib me. Perfect. That will work. Well, I say that. We're gonna full send this. I'm just gonna protect everybody this turn. And I'm basically just gonna fire off Musashi's NP. Hope for the best. Hopefully I can kill Ku over there on the right. I'm actually surprised Ku hasn't been switching, and it's kind of annoying. Sorry, it wasn't Ku. It was him. Okay, so maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Right, BB's gonna get her NP next turn. Thank you for removing my invincible. Thank you for charging me, more importantly. And at 17 turns, we're gonna get the kill. Yeah, that's just annoying. Yeah. Like, again, to me, a fight like this, it kind of begs you to invincible comp it because the enemies have variant charge. The enemies have buffs that seemingly carry over. The enemies have quite a bit of capacity to like mess with your flow. So to me, this is where like something like the invincible comp's just truly at its strongest. I wouldn't even necessarily call this your typical servant gauntlet because servant gauntlet, you know, you kill the enemy, they're dead, you move on. This one, the enemy keeps coming back in a rotation, so they're never truly gone until you actually kill that slot. That's definitely a problem. Okay, so next up is combat training then. I'm definitely glad that one's done though. So this one is yet another beefy. Oh my god. So can I just AoE this one? It's Moon Cancer, Ruler, Avenger. So this one screams use another AoE. Yeah, I think this one screams Shufu. Because of the buff removal resistance. Wait, can I just hyperfixate on BB chat? Is that how this one's gonna work? That's what I did with Hoku? Yeah. Hmm. I think we're Vlading. I think you need to kill all three still. Yeah, but I'm more like if I can just remove BB first, that seems to be the easy way to deal with this. Because the others give buffs to the party when they die. And then BB removes all buffs from the front line and drains gauge by 100%. Hey, Orange, thank you for the 61. Appreciate it, my dude. How you doing tonight? Wait, what was I doing? Or was I coming to Appends? I was definitely coming to Appends for a reason. And I totally forgot. No, it wasn't Appends. That's why. Craft essences. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoosh. I mean, I could try to AoE it. I'm just more concerned about like being able to actually deal enough damage here. I doubt that I can. Not in like one turn. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I could do it. I just. Hmm. Probably shouldn't use the level 100 one, but whatever. Just send it and see what happens. I'm less worried about Himiko. I know she can like crit and everything, but Oh, I actually probably should have used the other one, but whatever. Send it and see. Yeah, see, like, the firepower, because we're only using double support here, is way reduced. Do that. Ahado, thank you for the sub. How you doing today, bud? Thank you for the 3 years of support. Jack, we get some love for Ahado. Doom, 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 doom. Doing the advanced quest? Yes, I am. Hmm. I could pop that. I I think I go for it. I don't know that it's gonna matter. Okay, he's dead. Himika's not. 300% charge, goddamn. Just a little refund. Yeah, just a little. Um Crap, I equipped her with Ocean Fire. So I didn't have the invuln one, but that's fine, I guess. I don't think Himiko will be that big of a problem in the grand scheme of things. And like low key, the longer Himiko's around, the better. That being said, that drain is kind of a problem. I kind of gotta hope that they actually like wombo Shufu here. But I honestly, I may have to just use a command seal. I like, because I don't think Castoria is getting to her NP. It's still really bad. I can arts chain this. and pray to God. She's actually got to get hit once, and it's going to be spicy considering this. There's only going to be one action. Okay, we made it just in time. Holy shit. Should not have been a thing, but we did it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep Himiko around. It's gonna reduce the amount of actions that that PB's gonna get. And it should make it a little bit easier to handle. Poke. Getting forced. I was gonna say, that being said, the amount of freaking like crit damage here is just utterly freaking disgusting. I'm like hesitant to taunt with MASH. I am really hesitant to taunt with MASH because I feel like it's just inviting MASH to get brutally murdered. But then on the other hand, if I don't taunt with MASH, Castoria might be the one getting brutally murdered. Oh my god, why'd you give her a crit buff? No! Oh, thank god, no crit. Oh, that was close. Gotta just keep trying to stack this crap on her. Try to counteract those crit buffs. I think it'd be fine. I think it will be too, but hot damn, the amount of crit that she has right now is terrifying me. She's got Himiko's death buff and Himiko's NP. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me, you piece of shit? And I've got that. That is a play. Top mash, that's what I'm thinking. But it's just like, it could get spicy here. Because of drain? Oh, yeah, it's great. Take a picture if that happens. Because it doesn't happen very often. And then you can spread misinfo with... Oh, wow, she actually MP sealed her. Kind of overkill, but
I just want to protect that Musashi as much as possible. You fucking bitch. Oh, this is spicy. I need damage is the problem because she's gonna win this eventually. And man. I don't I don't see that I make it. This will end in a Castoria solo. It's a weird, like, priority order here right now. I'm having to try to think ahead of BB, and it's like, I've already guessed right, like, twice, so the odds are against me guessing right a third time. So I did that purely for the stacking defense, chat. God. Shit. Holy shit, there's a chance. That chance is very slim though now, because this card draw was ass. This one's for all the marbles now, chat. No, God, you bitch! Oh, God. Okay, I have to use the command seal. Well, I guess I don't, but like, this is just gonna get nasty if I don't, chat. You know what? I can triple seal these, right? I can triple seal these. I hate having to do it, but like, yeah, no, I there's no stars, there's no skills, so this is just gonna happen without a seal. You can't revive. No revive? Fuck it. Do it for the content? Yeah, that's why I'm not doing it, for the content. Fine. Okay, hear me out, chat. We're farming. People say we're down? Yes. Later, Katana. Have a good one. I was like, I can solo this. I've got this. As long as she doesn't get like bullshit crits all of a sudden. I was sitting there and I was like, man, I really just, I don't want to have to card this to death, but yeah, and I knew, of course she targeted her. She just made sure to remove everybody's buffs. Why? Because she could. Actually, I probably could have inverted that. I might have killed. But I put the arts card, yeah, no, I still killed anyway, so it didn't matter. I was gonna say, I put the arts card in the third slot just to get the most MP gain out of it. I was gonna hope for a 200%, but it killed. I got so forward thinking, I wasn't seeing the kill that I had in front of me. Is what it is. All right, now we have the exhaustible mound of dust. And it's pretty much MLB. All right, chat, one more. Surely this one's easy, right? Chat, give me the easiest solution for this. Which one is this? This is Bones. Demon Nobu. Two turn, yeah, it's break bar, so he has a damage cut of 10,000 for 13 times, but that's nothing. Think she has guts. Yes, she does, but I have no idea because it doesn't say how much she gets from it. She also inflicts buff removal on the whole party, including the reserve. So this is pretty much the exact same setup, only I need a single target to kill her. OGBB works well here. That's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm not sure I can two-turn. Use the burb? You mean Benny Enma? Talking about chaotic evil? Yeah, could be a thing. Where's my Benny Enma? Hold on, I'm blind, chat. Blinding, 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 still blind. Okay, God, there. Ding 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 ding. Trubs and shambles? No, Trubs knows. Problem is mine's only in P2. I feel like a DJ tonight. Hey, at least your song requests are good. All right, let's see. See how it goes. I wanted to show you guys too. I'd done some interesting stuff in Wilds over the weekend. Course terror. I'm not sure we hard kill here is the issue. Oh boy. Wow. I've got to create like a one shot there for that to work. Hmm. I think we just need actual effective damage. Yeah, I think the buff removal resistance is the big thing. All right, hold on, chat. I have a plan. We're still going to use a berserker, but we're going to use the anti-berserker. Wait, hold on. Does she have her buff? I should know this. Oh, right. No, I'm thinking of the other one. Fuck. Yeah, Benny Inma honestly does have the trait damage. I mean, I could try doing something raw damage capable. I think the problem is going to be the drain because I can block his buff removal or her buff removal, but I can't block the drain. Oh, wait, she doesn't have drain. Maybe I'm thinking of the prior fight. Yeah. Let's go for maximum firepower. Try to see if I can 2 or 3 turn it. Because the charge is going to get nasty. Okay. God damn. Yeah. Always underestimate Vlad's damage, man. I'm so used to the old days with Vlad. So used to it. Interesting. Didn't attack the second time. But I just get to do that again. Gonna taunt glitch? It shouldn't. It did. Interesting. I thought taunt glitch had to be the first hit of the first attack. Well, just to be on the safe side, eat stun. Then I could also drain to get out of the next NP as well. Goodbye, Shufu. I mean, that's... You do something like that purposefully to rotate units back in. It's great. That's one of the strongest uses of taunt. And it's just really, really difficult for the devs to design anything against that. But to be fair, some of these fights, it feels like you're hyper incentivized to do it. So it is what it is. Taunt makes a lot of the challenge fights easier. There we go, chat. We got all of the remaining advanced quests done. So we are clear on that front. Looks like I completed my weeklies. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with that outcome. Makes it way, way easier to deal with all this, since now I can just fixate on Chaldea boys and not have to worry. Back when they think 3-turn taunt is a demerit, they slap 80% attack up on that C. Yeah, like I said, I probably shouldn't have used it. I could have used something like, well, I guess like Outrage would have only been the 1 turn, right? So in the regard to the fact that it's 3 turns, it's really nice. But I have other non-level 100 copies, so it would have given less HP and it would have made that less spicy. But she still died, so, and it taunt glitched and it worked. So I'm A-okay with it. But yeah. Chat, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. We're about 4 minutes early, but, you know, we accomplished everything we needed to do today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for those of you guys that stuck around for stream. I know today wasn't a super ambitious or, like, crazy day. Not a lot of people on, not a lot of stuff going on. So I get it, but, yeah. In the meantime, I'm hoping we'll have some new content out for you guys tomorrow on YouTube. Again, I've been busy with work. It's been a rough couple of days here, so hopefully we'll get back in the saddle with that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Let me see who all is on for this evening. Who do I give love to? I see a Mr. Foxverse on. I'm going to send you guys his way. And again, I will see you guys for the next one. Go give Fox my love. Have a good one.